Mark Kelly asked one question that cut through all the rhetoric. If confirmed, who will you swear an oath to? The Constitution or Donald Trump?
Thank you, Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Tata, thank you for being here and also meeting with me in my office in March. I want to get right to it here. In a since-deleted tweet published on November 8th, 2024, you tweeted, and this is a quote, "The Pentagon is hyper-politicized and needs a thorough vetting to include senior active duty military personnel who are participating in these discussions." You went on to tweet, "Loyalty to the Constitution is the only test," and then outlined 6 must-do actions, including 2, this is number 5, review every SES appointment and find a path to off-ramping many. They are a large part of the resistance in DoD and will lead the underground efforts to undermine the administration as they did in 2016 to 2020. And then number 6, so that was 5, this is 6. Appoint strong leaders who are aligned with POTUS's vision. No independent agendas. All oars in the water to achieve Trump Agenda 47, end of quote. Mr. Tata, what did you mean by the fact that leaders should be, quote, aligned with POTUS's vision to achieve Trump Agenda 47?
Senator, thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation. The Trump Agenda 47 is one peace through strength, strengthening, rebuilding our military, focusing on not engaging in needless wars. And that tweet was in direct response to a CNN article that discussed credible sources of generals and admirals having conversations about how to resist lawful orders from the commander-in-chief, who is appointed under Article 2 of the Constitution as the commander-in-chief. And so I found it quite unacceptable that admirals and generals, as reported by CNN, were having conversations about how to resist our president and for lawful orders. And in so doing, I was also shocked that General Brown had never acknowledged this report, said it was bogus, or...
Who was the report by?
CNN. It was an article by CNN that cited credible sources that said that admirals and generals are having conversations about how to resist lawful orders from the president. Lawful orders they didn't like.
Let me ask you this. So which is more important? Loyalty to the Constitution or loyalty to the administration's agenda or to the president?
We all raise our right hand, Senator, to uphold and defend the Constitution. And it's also very important that we accomplish the president's vision of no unnecessary wars, rebuilding the military, taking care of our men and women in uniform. Those are all the goals that I'm talking about. And I found it reprehensible that admirals and generals in the Pentagon were having conversations about how to usurp the commander-in-chief's authority that's given to him by our Constitution, Article 2, and disobey lawful orders. How were they going to resist? And that's what I found offensive, Senator.
Well, I think it's interesting that folks who often don't give a lot of credence to what comes from CNN are now quoting CNN as a reliable source when it is convenient in a political argument. So I think you're saying that loyalty to the Constitution comes above loyalty to any individual, including the president. Is that correct?
I've raised my right hand for 44 years to support and defend our Constitution, Senator. And I also believe it's important as a political appointee, if confirmed, that all the vision of the president and the administration gets implemented appropriately.
So if you're confirmed and sworn into this position, who will you be swearing an oath to?
I will swear an oath to the Constitution, Senator.
And are you willing to get fired from this job?
Absolutely.
To do that? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
This exchange matters because it gets to the core of something far bigger than one nominee or one tweet. It gets to the most fundamental principle of American democracy, civilian control of the military under the Constitution, not loyalty to any one person. Senator Mark Kelly, a Navy combat veteran and former astronaut, didn't raise his voice. He didn't grandstand. He methodically walked the nominee through his own words that raised serious red flags about politicizing the Department of Defense. The nominee had publicly argued that Pentagon leaders should be aligned with POTUS's vision, warned of resistance within the military, and called for rooting out officials who might undermine Trump Agenda 47. That language matters, because when you start talking about loyalty tests, alignment, and purging perceived resistance inside the military, you are no longer talking about professionalism. You're talking about politicization. Kelly zeroed in on the contradiction immediately. The nominee claimed loyalty to the Constitution is the only test, while simultaneously calling for leaders who are aligned with the president's personal agenda and warning of an underground resistance within the Pentagon. Those two ideas cannot coexist without tension, and Kelly forced that tension into the open. The heart of the exchange was simple but profound. Which loyalty comes first? The nominee tried to walk a careful line, repeatedly invoking peace through strength and the president's vision, while insisting that he has always sworn to uphold the Constitution. But Kelly didn't let the ambiguity stand. He reminded everyone in the room that lawful orders matter and that the Constitution, not cable news reports or political agendas, is the ultimate authority. Then came the moment that made this exchange resonate. Kelly asked point blank, "If confirmed, who will you be swearing an oath to?" There was no room to pivot, no room to hide behind talking points. The nominee answered, "The Constitution." And when Kelly followed up, "Are you willing to get fired for that?" the answer was yes. That matters because it draws a bright line Democrats have been defending consistently. In a democracy, military leaders and civilian appointees do not serve a person. They serve the Constitution. Period. The moment loyalty to an individual or a political movement overtakes that oath, democracy itself is at risk. This exchange also exposes a broader pattern. Republicans often accuse the military and federal agencies of being politicized, while simultaneously demanding ideological alignment and personal loyalty to Donald Trump. Democrats are calling that what it is, a dangerous inversion of constitutional norms.